Eric Andrade. Eric Andrade is a spoken word artist and community activist from New Bedford. He works with local youth through Youth Build, New Bedford, as the AmeriCorps program coordinator and co-facilitator of the Sustainability Leadership Development Program. Eric is the founding member of La Soul Renaissance and the Overflowing Cup Project. La Soul Renaissance is a local spoken word and hip-hop venue which focuses on social justice and spirituality. The Overflowing Cup Project is an artist circle that works to encourage, recover, and inspire creativity through a collective process. Eric is also a candidate for the New Bedford School Committee. And he hopes to bring the voice of at-risk youth to the committee and call for systemic reform. Eric is also a mentor for and a member of the Connecting for Change Youth Committee. Please welcome Eric Andrade.
Thank you. All right. I want to dedicate my performance to a hero of mine from New Bedford, Massachusetts. He's from Greensboro, North Carolina. He just turned 70 this week. He started the sit-in movement. He was one of the original from the Greensboro Four. His name is Jabril Kazan. He's a prophet in our city and a hero. And I want to celebrate his life, his legacy, and 70 years strong and been in New Bedford, dedicated to the people. We hold these truths self-evident, that the blood spilled by our president is on all of our hands. So revolution, it consumes all of our plans with rebel music. Weapons are words for you to use it, yet don't confuse it with hate. It's just our love was so great and our pain was so strong. In a world that's so wrong, we write freedom in songs over drum tracks of tears. They have murdered so many of our young through gun, crack, or beers. Yet our lung lacks the fears of a death that never comes. Ashe, our spirit forever runs like the wind from the sun. I fight the sin that begun with Abel and Cain, then led to African men tied to a table with chain. They raped, murdered, and maimed till our mind state became perverted with pain. So to escape, some reverted to Cain, cracking the coke. That's the fate of the black and the broke that are lacking the hope. So to cope, they smoke dope, begin freebasing. This is creating the devastation of our nation, yet we're building our own strong foundation. You see, I decide to just love, trust in God, reside up above the pain of the earth. Money is vain and it hurts to see people that are poorer than me. My third eye explore and I see that they are warring to be killing the peace. Blood spilled while we still chill in the east, where the devil's killing release the pain. When will it cease to increase? Cause I aim to make my mark on the beast. So I walk in the parks after dark, sparking the heart of my peeps, drugs, thugs, and freaks who know no muscle for weeks just to hustle to eat. Maybe a couple of sneaks, Tim's laces on boots, big faces on loot just to buy you a dream. I know sons that will die as a teen. Look in my eye, does it seem that I'm telling a lie? Visit a scene where children will die, and the villain doing the killing is another child. That's why we still living in hell. It seems as if our wishes aren't even given a well. Yet the CIA, their drugs are given a cell. And every cell, it got plenty of taps. And for every empty prison cell, there's plenty of traps. Get you locked in a box, look at the clock, and it stops the tick and the talk. Too many of our kids are gripping a Glock, flipping the rock, cracking the coke. From the slave masters with rope back in Africa, to nowadays we the drug trafficker. You see, house Negroes and Uncle Tom sell drugs to their own people. We the overseers enslaving the masses, because Cash has got our asses enlisted in dirt. That's why I stopped snitching. He got stitched on his shirt, silent about the system that pitched him to work. Got him doing their dirt, dance with the devil, we flirt with the darkness. The blocks is heartless and the cops is ruthless, and it's hard to stop because the truth is the cycle is reckless. So check this, Willie Lynch, he would expect this. Black men still lose their neck over a necklace. dying to protect the chain, still enslaved in our brain, slanging cane, coke in the roar. Yet most of our families are broken, we poor, folk in this war where our souls been bought then sold like gold in the ore. Can't you see it's capital that's controlling the law? That's why racist cops be patrolling the floor of this American jail in a cell. This is the history that their books are failing to tell. Martha Stewart, she made bail and did well, because the justice they sell trusted it fell to the highest bidder. That's why she's free while they fry that nigga. R.I.P. Troy Davis. R.I.P. Troy Davis. That's why she's free while they fry that nigga to try to get by, get bigger by robbing a store. But ain't it a crime the way they be robbing the poor? Ain't it a crime the way they be robbing the poor? And why is it we either gotta get a job or go to war? Legally murder when shooting a tank. Meanwhile, the CEOs of all these corporations be looting the bank. So who do we thank for this cause and effect? I think it's time we all sat back, pause, and reflect. Thank you. Thank you. If only the cameras and the microphones would tune into the moans and groans of broken hearts and broken bones, or hear the tears and fears of these broken hearts, and broken hearts don't start to dream until love it mends the seams torn apart by screams and yells and screams, and hell it seems and hell it is. A hell where kids get killed and martyred. Rapes get hit by father who hit kids harder and harder. And it's harder and harder to grow smarter when there's no one to teach. And it's hard to find your voice when there's no freedom of speech. So soul, spirit grow weak, and it's hard to stay strong when you've been praying to God for so long. I said it's harder and harder to stay strong when you've been praying to God for so long that days turn to weeks. As weeks turn to years, as fears manifest, as daddy's dear lost her dress, as daddy forces her to sex. In of course, it's incest, so she daily dreams to kill her maker. Cause daddy was a demon and a raper, daily cursing the semen that would make her. From the womb to the tomb, feeling cursed by creator. And these years of fears turns to fears of peers. And oppression and silence, it turns to aggression and violence. But do you really care? Yeah. Word. So when will we take time to share? Because the problem is right here, right now. You see, there's the truth that lies behind our lies. Disguised behind the concern lies the truth. Failing to hear the cries of youth, another dream dies its proof of our lack of concern. It's the fact that we lack to learn the root cause and effect. We neglect to protect our children, more concerned with our own financial plans for the building and the impact of youth programs losing their funds. Who is willing to save these kids before they start using them guns? Me, myself, I'm tired of mothers and fathers losing sons and daughters to senseless slaughters. I'm tired of AIDS programs having to beg for them quarters. The system is out of order. The system is out of order. Police, supposed to protect and serve us, usually just disrespect then disturb us. This present got me nervous for a future where our own police and neighbors would rather shoot you than lend a hand. Yeah. I'm not pretending, man, this is a land of hysteria, otherwise known as America. You see, I don't prescribe to the prescription of the lies and addiction of this American pie. It's a lie, it's a fiction. So I question, why are we living till we die in a prison of division? Too many politicians are driven by worth, dollars and cents. Economic scholars intent to invent ways to enslave the blue collar to rent. Meanwhile, in my pile of incense sages that burn, book pages they turn, what age I learned to discern between the friend and the foe. And those people just pretending to know the root cause and effect, neglecting to correct their own mind state. At times I find fate to be too late because it's hard to wait for God in a state where children, they get scarred with the hate. And I swear by God, I find it odd that men rape, acting more wild than ape, criminal and savage. Love is the minimal. It's average for daddies to have forsaken a marriage. And way too soon, daddy's little girl should be taking that carriage, strolling the block. And her younger brother, he often talk about holding a Glock, only leading to the coffin closing and dropping a casket. This is reality. This is not plastic. This is tragic, living in this savage land of the graves. Talk on your phone if you're brave. New World Order, Illuminati, either you a clone or a slave to minimum wage. You see, we are living in an age of false apostles and fools. A president and government that is hostile and would choose to use missiles that cruise for fossils and fuels. Soil drilling to the core. For oil, they are still killing the poor. Meanwhile, Osiris is still in the door of heaven's pathway. If we would only take one step, God would meet us halfway. Lack of love of self within is the fact above original sin. Original men born with lights within a complex thought whose sights begin in a reflection that bend back. We live inside a mirror that can't crack, creating images that lack negative pictures. Our self-portrait, it was written in scriptures with words that aren't heard but seen in the mind of those whose vision's not blurred by the unaware's false perception. Knowledge past, caught within your ear's reception, giving birth to virgin conceptions. Immaculate search for my soul perfection, led on maps with no lost direction. You see all roads cross on a course of resurrection. Raise your force and return to light like dawn born in the death of night. My thought separates lies like a prism does light. Some are blind to their prison in life. They accept what they are given in sight, trapped in a religion of a maze that turned kings into slaves by promising a heaven in their graves, when its reality is risen in these days, living in this Eden. Every second your breath is leaving, so stop praying for the grace you're already receiving. Written words consumed when reading is like food for thought. And though the crew resort to cash and plastic cards, they only get trumped when reality crashes so hard. So why these orphan thoughts of a bastard? Your father was a son. Allah, Buddha, and Jesus all are one. And please recall, my son, your mother is your nature. And when you hate yourself. And no monetary gains can replace your health, so existence is where you should place your wealth. And with persistence, please peep that light in the distance. It travels at the speed of thought. Ignorant minds are in need of support to realize their potential. My body is just my spirit's residential. Mind, body, and soul, the three elemental. A holy trinity that's not coincidental, because I am we are she, and he is me. G-O-D, one love, peace, and unity. Thank you.